morning here on the Pacific Coast. I am Julie Bean and I am here live to do a beading class today. I come here a couple times a week. I'm here on Wednesdays as well as Saturday mornings for our Saturday morning cartoons, which are always so much fun. And today we're going to be working with gemstones and leather, which is pretty cool. So we're going to be doing a wrap style bracelet. So it's not going to wrap necessarily around your wrist multiple times, although I will tell you how you could achieve that effect. This is going to be wrapping gemstones onto leather cord, which will be fun. Hello, Monica. And I saw Tanya's here and Michelle and Thaisa are in the background and Bobby. Hello. So we're going to have fun today. We're going to use the Wrap It Loom. I've used it several times before. I really like this loom. It's super easy. It's a very different loom as opposed to one that does your traditional rows of like seed beads. This allows you to do wraps and macrame and different things. So I'll show you the loom itself. We'll talk through that. And then we're going to make a gemstone and leather wrapped bracelet with a button closure. Hello, Annie and Jan T from Montana. Hello, and Monique and Carolyn. Hello, and Michelle. This is going to be a fun class today. I have a couple other gemstone strands to show you as well that we just got in on a special buy here at Art Bead, so that'll be fun too. Hello, Ellen and Beverly. Oh my gosh, all these great names. Hello, Laura and Nancy. 25 degrees in Wisconsin. Oh my gosh, and snow yesterday. Oh my gosh, it is very cold. I was complaining. We got down to 41 here last night, which for us, because we're in Southern California, 41 is pretty cold. But 25, you definitely have me beat. Hello, Monica from Rhode Island. How is everyone doing today? That's a great question. Share in the comments how everybody's day is going. It's always fun to share. Good morning from Boyna Park. Hello, Rosie. I'm just in Claremont, so I am not too far. Hello, Bonnie and Hannah from Iceland. Oh, snowy Iceland. Oh my gosh, but I bet it's beautiful. I bet it's just stunning. I was checking our mountain report. So we have a couple mountains near us. We have Mount Baldy and we have Lake Arrowhead and Big Bear. I was checking the snow reports this morning because I'm hoping to drive up to the snow line here within the week. Hello, Kathleen. Oh, 80 degrees in Florida. Oh, that sounds nice. I think we're going to get to a high of like 65 today. We're a little cooler. Hello, Santa Barbara girl. Oh my gosh, great cold day. Nice in the woods. I imagine your house. I just have this vision of your house with like the deer and all the birds. I would love to see a picture of your backyard. Hello, Lisa from Pennsylvania and Kat. Oh, so Kat, you were in Claremont, San Diego. I love that. We actually looked at buying in Claremont, Los Angeles County and Claremont, San Diego. It was just like two great towns, both named Claremont. All right, guys, we are going to play today with the Wrap It Loom. If anyone's just joining me, we are going to be doing that. Oh, you're going to be doing, oh, Dale, hello from Long Beach. Yes, drying out. I know our ground is still completely soaked, completely from the rains. And we're supposed to get more tomorrow. Hello, Sue from Wisconsin and Anne. Hello from Arizona and Annie. Hello. Oh, good. Okay, the Wrap It bracelets. Good. So I'm going to, like I said earlier, if anyone's just joining me, we're going to do a single wrap with the style being where you wrap the beads around the leather cord, but you can easily adapt it to make it a longer bracelet. You'd actually need two looms. I'm going to show you what that would involve. So I want to show you that. If you want to do it where you can do like 2 or 3 actual rotations around your wrist with this style bracelet. So I'm going to show you that as well. Oh my gosh, so many great friends here today. Hello, Sherry and Diane and Sue and Ruby. Hello, and Jane from Long Island. Oh my gosh, this is going to be fun. Okay, as you guys can see, I can read the comments live, which is great. I can only do that here on Art Beads though. So if you are watching on YouTube or Facebook and you're commenting right now and you're like, why is she not answering my question or saying hello? It's just because I can't see it live. So if you follow the link in the description of the video you're watching right now, it will pop you over to Art Beads. And then when you comment, we can talk back and forth, which is always so nice. There's the little heart icon, which gives floaty hearts. There's the share button. If you like this class and you want to even share it to yourself to kind of give you a record of it, you can do that, which was a great tip that somebody shared. And then there's the shopping bag icon, which has everything I'm going to use today preloaded, so you don't have to wait for a banner to pop up or me to describe it because I don't always know the name or the size or the price. So that's a great resource. Hello, Leah from Maine. Hello. Oh my gosh. Okay. And then, yeah, I know, Thaisa, I'm like, this is such a good group too. I agree. All right, I'm gonna flip my camera down. I have some fun things to show you that we're not working with. I just wanted to show you because there's some cool stuff happening. And then I'm gonna show you the loom and we're gonna make the bracelet. So let's flip the camera down. We have a beautiful sunny day today. It is very saturated out there. It's soaking wet, but it is beautiful today. And so I've got lots and lots of goodies on my table. All right, so a sneak peek at the loom we're gonna work with. This is the loom. I'm gonna walk you through it here in just a moment. But I wanna show you two other things real quick before we get going. So we are having our pre-Black Friday sale, which is up to half off all prestige, but also we're having a super special deal of the week, which is all the Bead Llama bead blends, including their seed bead blends, are half off. So I have some gorgeous, gorgeous seed beads right here. And all of these tubes are 50% off, and all there in the shopping bag. They're absolutely gorgeous. And I was looking them up. It appears that these only started at $2.50, so they're down to $1.25. So this is really cool if you're looking to pick up some really beautiful seed bead blends. There's also other bead blends there that are half off for our very special deal of the week leading up to Black Friday. The other cool thing I want to show you before we get into our project is we had a special buy and got some really gorgeous big gemstones. And these are huge focals, which are so cool looking. So I just wanted to show these real quick because I have them. I was like, I've got to show these live because they're really beautiful. And I often get asked if we have any like larger scale beads, and these are beautiful. So you can see what these look like here. And they're very, very, very reasonably priced. They are kind of surprisingly reasonably priced, and they are just gorgeous. So I just wanted to show these real quick because I had them, and they are beautiful. So those are in the shopping bag as well, but there's just such a beautiful focal on these guys here. All right, and we have a cat on the table too today, so she has joined us. All right, now we're gonna play with the Wrap It Loom. Okay, so when you get the Wrap It Loom, I'm kind of gonna start, oh, actually let me show you what we're gonna make. This is what we're gonna make. This is our project for today. So we are gonna do a button closure, and then we're gonna do a wrap style using 1.5 millimeter leather cord, size number 4 Griffin silk. And we're gonna use some seed beads, and we're gonna use some beautiful gemstones. Now these were large hole gemstones, which are pretty cool. So I have some left here. Oh, Twix just knocked something off. And then if you can see here, they have a large hole. Let me see if I can position that. And that large hole allowed them, oh my gosh, she's destroying some paperwork. Oh, I might have to stop her real quick. What are you destroying, girl? Okay, the large hole allowed me not to have to use 2 needles with this, which was pretty cool. So this is the wrap style bracelet that we're gonna make today. I'm gonna use this strand here of this beautiful sodalite. I love this. I know it's her world, but she is destroying something. What are you destroying? Oh, she's destroying my husband's eyeglass prescription. I know. I think I need to rescue that because he might need that. One sec, guys. Twixie. Okay, let's just take that up. Okay. Yes, that was his eyeglass prescription. So hopefully we can retrieve that. All right, so these were really beautiful stones, and they were large hole, which did make them easier to use. I will say that. And then I have a little Raven's Journey button. Now, you can do other things besides gemstones on the Wrap It. I've done these in the past here. It's the same technique if you want to do it with seed beads and fire polish. And the way it works is you have a little loop closure that you make here, and you put the button through the loop to secure it onto your wrist. So it's a really nice, simple mechanism. She does need a paper bag. She's looking for trouble. She is under me looking for trouble. And so you can do this. Here was a color variation of that with a different button. So you have a lot of variety that you can do. So today we're going to do it with just simple strand of gemstones, but I did want to show you have variety. Okay, so the loom itself, let me show you the box. Okay, so I have to say the box does not do it justice. I'm going to raise my camera so we can see this a little bit better. All right, so this is what you get, and it shows all these things here, but you don't have to make this style of bracelet. You can make definitely these more elevated, more elegant bracelets using beautiful, check beads, seed beads, glass buttons, a lot of different things, leather cord. But what is nice is it does actually come with some beads, some cord, some different supplies if you want to. Oh, Twixie, those are my lamps. Oh my gosh, you might have to go in with your daddy soon. So it does give you a lot here. And then you can see back here, it does come with cords. It comes with the loom, all that good stuff. So the core loom itself, though, is what I want to show you. This is the main loom that's in that box. I know she's very energetic right now. Oh my goodness. So this comes unassembled. So when you get this, it's going to come like this. I just want to show you how to put this together real quick. So you're going to get this base piece, which is right here. And what's really nice is it has numbers here. It has inches. So you get to have like a size guide for your bracelet as you're doing this. Then you just take this piece here and you put it right onto this little notch. Super easy to assemble. And then you take this piece here with the slider rail and you just slide it. It's got little grooves and you just slide it on. And then if you want a 7-inch bead portion, you put it into the 7-inch groove. If you want a 6-inch, you put it into the 6-inch. And then to secure it, like let's say we're gonna do a 7-inch, put it into the 7-inch groove. It comes with this little wedge. You put this little wedge right here, and then it won't move, and it's sturdy. And that's all there is to assembling this loom. It's super easy. There's not a lot of pieces, not a lot to get confused with, so it's really easy. Now, like I was saying, if you wanted to do a more multiple wrap bracelet, like let's say you want to bead like 15 inches or 18 inches, and you want to make it really long, what you can do, and I've tested this out, you can actually purchase 2 looms and connect them and make yourself a double track. So if you see right here, this connects to this. So if you imagine that you've got 2 of these and you want to make it super long, you would simply slide this end of your second loom into this part here, and that will give you a super long track to be able to do multiple wraps. And it would be the same technique that I'm going to show you here today. You wouldn't change your technique. You would just have a longer expanse. Oh, I know. Wait till the wrapping paper. I know. And the Christmas tree. I think we're in for it. Like right now, she's under me batting at the cords to the lamps. So I keep expecting a lamp to go crashing here any minute. Okay, so I'm going to set this up for a 7-inch bracelet. So I've put it into the 7-inch groove right there. And so that's ready to go. Now the cord and the buttons are the first thing we're going to look at. And I'm going to keep this a little higher today so that we can see this. So I have some nice 1.5-inch leather cord. And you can see this here. And I want to show you the difference between the antique natural brown and the chocolate brown. So the chocolate brown has like a sheen to it. And then this natural antique is more of a matte finish. All right, I'm trying to read the comments as I go. Hopefully I didn't miss anything. All right, I'm going to use more of the chocolate brown, which is a little bit more of a shine to it. And then you can also see there's a couple other colors available as well. I think there's white, and I think there might be another brown. And then you're going to need Griffin silk. So Griffin silk is nice because it comes with a needle already attached. If you're going to be using the large hole gemstones, what you're going to, you won't need a second needle. If you are going to use regular gemstones, you can still do it without a second needle. It just takes a little bit more patience putting the thread through, and you're going to see that here in a minute. But it is nice that Griffin silk comes with one needle already attached. So you're going to look for size 4. I also think size 5 would work. I haven't tested that, but I think size 5 would work as well. Oh, I see that Linda saying, Nancy, love my comfort loom. Game changer. Yay. I'm going to work with the comfort loom next Wednesday too. I'm going to do a project with it for our class next Wednesday. All right. And then what we're going to do is we are going to take 24 inches of this. So I will tell you that I tried on my tester one here, my sample piece. I tried to just take 1 yard, which is 36 inches, cut it in half. So I had 18 inches to see if I could make a bracelet out of 18 inches so I could get 2 bracelets out of 1 yard. I could, but it was pretty squeaky. This is where my ends of my cord ended up. So it was pretty tight. And so this here is this is about a 6.5 inch bracelet when you put the clasp on. So it is possible to only use 18 inches, but it's really, really tight. So I think what I'll do is for this one here, I'm going to cut 24 inches to give myself a little bit more wiggle room. Hello, Susie. So we are going to be making wrap bracelets using beautiful gemstones as well as leather cord and Griffin silk on the Wrap It Loom. Okay. So you know what? I might even give myself 26 inches here, and then I'll see what I have left over. I just do not want to cut it short again. So 24, because I tend to err on the side of caution on these things. But we can also see how much we have left at the end, so you don't have to overuse any of your supplies. I can kind of test it out here. Oh, thank you, Linda. So yeah, I know this is a really actually fairly simple bracelet to make. Knock on wood, hopefully it all comes together. But it's fun. It really creates a different look than like a bead woven bracelet or of course like a strung bracelet. Okay, so I have this set up to the 7-inch mark. I have my anchor in there. I've got this piece here. The first thing we're gonna do is add our button. So you have a lot of choices on pretty buttons. I'm gonna go with one of these faces. I'm thinking the dark blue because I really wanna use this gemstone strand, and I think that looks really nice together. So I think actually the cream one would look nice too. You could do the cream for a little contrast. And I'm going to do the brown cord. I'm going to do some brown Griffin silk. And then I do need a little seed bead in there, and a size 8/0. It works really well. So I'm either going to be using this gray mix, because it has some different options. But I also really liked just this like frosted gold line crystal. So I kind of like that as well. So let's go ahead and probably go with this as our color palette, the blue button. Yeah, I think the blue button too. The blue just has such a pretty shine to it. So it's just a really cool button. Okay, a couple other beads I had on my table that I'm not using is I had this beautiful kind of gray labradorite. This also was a large hole that I considered using because the large hole was so easy. I had this really pretty 6mm black. So this is an 8, this is a 6. I even had this white. I thought this could be really cool too for kind of like a natural look. So a lot of different options. Have fun looking at the gemstones. We actually got a lot of new gemstones in on a special buy. So they're really affordable and they're just beautiful strands. So just something to keep in mind. Okay, I'm going to clear off some space so we can just focus on the project. So I'm going to even clear, twigs, not the cords, baby. Okay, so here's the project that we're going to make. We're going to start and finish with seed beads. We're going to put the gemstones in the middle. She is up to mischief today. Oh my goodness. Okay, so let's go ahead and cut this strand so we have our beads ready for us. Okay, And I think I did put some other really pretty gemstones in the shopping bag as well, like some purples and some other colors. Let's move this camera back down to see if we can get a better focus. So these are nice because there's a lot of variety and color to them. So we had a lot of choice for our side weaving line of what color to pick out, because there's brown in there, there's blue, there's cream. So we had a lot of choices for different colors. So we've got that set aside, that set aside. We're gonna pour out a few 8/0 seed beads. So we're not gonna need that many of them. I think you need like 12 for the whole project. So not that many. And we're going to start by tying on our button. Oh, wrong button. We're going to start by tying on our button. So we're just going to go ahead through the back here. There's that nice loop. We're going to put our cord through it and slide it down to the middle. Okay, so just line up your ends so you've got an equal amount of leather cord on each side. So you can see here, there's our little button. And then we're just going to tie a simple little knot. Nothing fancy. And before you tie too tight, double check that your ends meet, that they're about the same. When I was doing the sample piece, I somehow ended up with one a lot shorter than the other, so I had to take out my knot and restart. But you want them to be pretty much even, or as even as reasonable here, without over stressing about it. Okay, once you've got that knot, give it a good little tug. So you have now anchored on your button, and so he is ready to go. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our loom and we're gonna do a 7-inch bracelet. So here's our loom. Let me move this up again. So this is where the button's gonna go. This is where your other, like your loop is gonna go. So maybe if I put it on this angle. So we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna take our little guy, we're gonna put him into this groove, and I'll hold this up here so you can see that up close. So you see there's these little notches. You can sit that button right down into the groove. And so you want it so that your 2 strands are coming out of it, and you've just got the button right there. Now this is nice because you already have your measurement. So there was the 6-inch mark. You could do 6.5. I'm doing 7-inch, and the clasp closure adds between 1/2 inch and 1 inch. See, I can even pull that button. Look, I even pulled that button tighter. So he's really resting up against it. So then I don't have any wiggle room, which is nice. I think I'm actually gonna make this 6.5 inches. 7 feels a little big with that closure. Okay. So I just moved it up and put the little stabilizer in. So now it's at the 6.5 mark. So now we're gonna tie our end knot before we even begin. So you're gonna just stretch out your leather cord. Make sure it's not crisscrossed. You want it to be coming with 2 parallel lines, and you're gonna stretch it nice and tight across. And we're gonna tie a little knot right here. So we're just gonna mark where that is. And yeah, 26 inches was a little much for this size bracelet. You could definitely get away with less, but it is nice to have some wiggle room here to work with this. So tie the knot really loose to begin with. Position it right here so that it's nice and tight. Once you know where you want that knot to be, then start to tighten it up. So let me show you. I'm gonna try to hold this up each part of the way. See how I've got that knot, but it's not tight yet because I want it to be stretched. I want this to be nice and pretty tight so you've got some good tension here. So once you're happy with your knot, tighten it up. And then you're going to put it right down into this groove so the knot is on that side of it. Now you have 2 choices from here. You can either do all your beadwork and then make your loop clasp part of it, or you can take this whole thing off right now, make the other knot that you're gonna need for your loop. And I actually find that easier. Even though it means having to reset this up, I find it a little easier because you're not wiggling with your gemstones. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm going to look at the size of my button. So this is easy to adapt whether you have a larger or smaller button. So I'm gonna be like, he has to fit through there. So if I look at where he lines up with the end of the knot, so it's right about here is where I need my second knot. So I'm just gonna tie another knot. And this leather holds really well. This is a nice secure leather. So again, I'm gonna kind of do a looser knot, not too tight. And I'm gonna take my button and I'm gonna try to put it through the loop right now before I tighten that knot. So I'm just gonna put him through it and make sure that he fits and is comfortable. So you don't want it where you have to really push on it, because then that's gonna be hard when you're getting it on and off your wrist, but you also don't want it so big that it just comes undone. Oh, hello, Denise. Yes, we are making Wrap It, using the Wrap It Loom, making leather, gemstone, and check glass button bracelets. So a little something different today. All right, so once you're happy with it, start to tighten it up and just take the few extra moments to double check that it didn't get pulled out too much, that it fits still comfortably, and then you can really give it a good tug once you know you're happy with the sizing. So there is your loop. And that was a good comment too, Denise. This video will be saved and archived. So if anyone wants to go back and watch the replay to see how to do this, you can always watch the replay. It comes available just shortly after the video ends. Okay, so basically we've actually got the basic foundation for our project completely done. At the very end, we'll trim our tails a little bit. I just like to trim them at the end. So now we're gonna go reline this back up. So we're gonna put him back into the loom, same as before. So you see he's just sitting in there. There he is. And we're gonna stretch this across and have that sit in there as well. So you've got two parallel lines with nice tension. You've already made your loop. All you'll have to do here at the end is cut your tails. Okay, so now we're ready to begin our actual beading. So like I mentioned, we're gonna use Griffin Silk size number 4. You get 2 meters. So you don't need 2 meters. I find it easier to use the full amount of the Griffin Silk because I can't quite, I measured it when I did my sample, I can't quite get 2 full bracelets out of 1 card of Griffin Silk because it does, I think I measured it needing like 48 inches for 1 bracelet, which is more than a meter. So you can't get 2 full bracelets out of 1 card, which is what, again, what I was hoping. I was trying to see like, how can I stretch the supplies? But it proved a little bit challenging. But here you go, you've got your needle already attached. Now, if you are using a large hole bead, such as this one, and a lot of these gemstones are marked large hole, you will not need another needle. And then if you are not using a large hole, life is a little easier with another needle, and I really like a twisted wire needle. It's a really soft, flexible needle. I should have a pack of them somewhere. Where is it? Oh yeah, you get a big pack of these. So you see, you get a big pack. They are reusable, even though you get so many of them, but they're nice because they slip easily onto the Griffin Silk. And so you're gonna see what we're gonna be doing here in just a minute with it. All right, I know, it's good to see the large hole beads. I agree. It was, I was very pleasantly surprised with how easy they were to work with. It is nice to see that. So I put some more, I think, in the shopping bag if anyone wants to see it. All right, so you've got this big, long expanse of Griffin Silk. You have 2 meters of it. You're not gonna need the full 2 meters, but there is something reassuring about starting with enough that is not going to run out. So you can, it's gonna have these kinks. If the kinks really bother you, you can kind of go like this a little bit to stretch them out. And then, but they don't interfere with the structure of the project, but I know that they can be a little bit distracting. So we're just kind of stretching it a little bit. And what we wanna do is we're going to tie this on right up here. And I'm gonna try to get the best angle possible with the lowest camera here so we can see. Okay, so we're going to take our Griffin Silk, find the 2 ends. So we have about half and half. This doesn't have to be as precise as the leather because we have extra. We're gonna take our cord, lay it over the top of it, come around each side and up to the top and over to the left. I'm gonna hold this up real quick. So I'm going around this outside, through the middle and over. Let me show you what I've got real quick. I could show you anywhere because I'm gonna pull that up. So basically I'm gonna pull this up to the top. I'm gonna see how I can hold this and not have it come undone. So see how it's over the top, around each side and through the middle. And now what we do is we want to give it a knot. We do want to knot this in place just for security. So we're just going to do, again, I'm going to move my camera so you can see it. We're just going to do a knot. Come on. Don't get tangled to begin with. There you go. Okay. And when you've got a knot, just pull it down and you're going to just slide it up and have it right there. And I'm going to do another knot on top of my knot just for good measure. Okay. So this is now the starting point. So we have an anchor strand going over it and we've got a knot in the middle, each strand going out to the side. Let me see if I can balance this and do this up close. I've never tried this before, but I really want you to be able to see the technique. Okay, so now you've got 2 strands. You're gonna go over the side and through the middle and pull it out to the side. You're gonna go over the side and through the middle and pull out to the side. And now you're ready to add your first bead. So you see how we wrapped around that leather cord? Now, our first bead is gonna be a seed bead because no matter what style bracelet you're making, whether you're using seed beads or gemstones, you need to taper your way up. So we're gonna start with 1, 2, then 3 seed beads. And I did that with the gemstone as well. So I tapered up. So 1, 2, 3. So we're gonna grab 1 seed bead, and this is when that twisted wire needle comes in handy. Although, you know what, with the seed beads, they're big enough. If you're using 8/0s, you actually don't need a twisted wire needle. So let's do without the needle as long as we can. Okay, so you're gonna take 1 strand. You already went over your sides. You're gonna take the end of your griffin silk and put it through the bead. And if we need to put that needle on, we will. I'm just trying to see how far we can make it without needing the needle. Okay, so then you've got that one coming from this direction. Now you're gonna take your griffin silk that has the needle attached, go through the same bead in the other direction and pull. And what's gonna happen is you're gonna pull, pull, pull. I have a plastic price tag or something on there that just came off. Okay, so you pull it all the way down and when you pull it down, you position it into place. I know that's not the best angle. So again, we're gonna do a lot of work with the camera today just so that we can get the best view. So hopefully you can see there's that 1 little seed bead notched into place. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna do the same technique. So that was the core technique to the entire project. So now again, we're gonna take the right hand one, wrap it around the outside and go through the middle and pull it out to the side. Take the other one, go around the outside and pull it out to the side. And now we're gonna add 2 seed beads. So we're gonna go ahead and take our cord. I'm using the cord without the needle first because I am trying to see if I can do this whole project without the needle. We'll just see. But now we're gonna add 2 seed beads. 1, 2. And then we're gonna go ahead, you can pull them down a little bit if that makes life easier, but you need to go ahead and grab your other cord and crisscross. So now this one has the needle. It's always easier to do the second pass through with the cord that has the needle attached. So just go through the other direction with the one with the needle. pull it, and then you're just going to pull it all the way down again, and it then locks into place right up top. So now you've got 2 beads up here. So now we've got the 2, and these are Toho round size 8/0 seed beads. Okay, same process for the 3 beads. So we go around the outside, through the middle, off to the side, around the outside, through the middle, off to the side. Now we're gonna add 3 seed beads. And then we're gonna add a gemstone, because then we'll be tall enough to add a gemstone. Oops. I got a little fuzzy on there. Okay. I still have a fuzzy. Okay, so we're gonna do this. All right, so 1 bead. 2 beads. And it's okay if they slide down, as long as you're able to crisscross through them. 3 beads. Okay, so I've got them, and they were coming out this direction. And then I'll grab my other strand. Oh, nope, it doesn't, Lisa. So it doesn't matter which side strand you thread the beads on each time. I actually keep switching back and forth, so I'm always doing the strand without the needle first because it's easier to get through them. But it doesn't matter. The main thing is that you just remember to do those side wraps first, that you do that wrap around the side, out in through the middle and back out to the side. That's the thing that really matters. So here we go. So now we've got those 3 beads. We just pull them down, and they should just sit in there as well. And so now we've been able to taper up, and you can see how this is wider now. See how that's just standing wider than this one? Because this one doesn't have any tapering effect going on. So now this is wide enough to comfortably add our gemstones. So I'm gonna add my first gemstone. I wanna see if I can do it without a needle, because if I can, then I can do this whole project without a secondary needle. So I might just trim my end here so that it's really a nice clean trim. All right, so we need to, again, wrap around the outside, through the middle. Just always remember to do that first. That's your first step. Around the outside, through the middle, because that's creating your wraps. Okay, now we're ready for a gemstone. And I'm gonna pick this really beautiful sodalite one. Okay, so this side does not have the wire. Let's see if it'll go through it. I think it does. Yeah, okay, it went through it pretty easily. So I feel like you don't necessarily need that twisted wire needle, which is great. It's always nice as one less thing to think about. Okay, so we've got that bead on there. We're just gonna now do the crisscross. And put this one through. So that needle is definitely helpful on the second pass through. And then pull it down. And when you pull this one down, it's just going to sit next to those seed beads. So now you have a gemstone on. And now it's going to be the same exact process. So always wrap around. And you could be creative. You could put a different bead in between the gemstone. You could put like 3 seed beads, gemstone, 3 seed beads, gemstone, 3 seed beads, gemstone. You can absolutely alter this pattern any which way you like. So I'm going to keep going here because I want to actually be able to show you how to finish this off as well. And I didn't think ahead of time to make this a little shorter for that purpose, which I probably should have, but I think I can get these loaded on pretty quickly here so we can see the finishing techniques too. All right, so crisscross, another beautiful gemstone. Cross it. Okay, pull it down. You want it just to sit in that middle area. Now, I did notice I probably spaced these a little too close together because you see how this one here is like popping up a little bit. So I'm gonna actually kind of force these to have a little bit of wiggle room between them, just a tad, just a little bit, so that it feels like when I pull them off, they're not overcrowded, because I did notice I was pushing them a little maybe too tight together. Okay, and now we're just going to continue. I'm going to try to see what I can do here for visuals showing this as best as I can. Oh, burn the tip of the cord without the needle. Yeah, you could do that. I don't know. This is silk though, so I'm not sure if that will work. I know that works for like Eslon or Amiet. This is silk, so I'm not sure it's going to take it the same way. But great idea. Or maybe like a little glue needle. That might work. I mean, I've even done glue needles with like tacky glue, just like a craft white glue sometimes works. So you could definitely do that. So just that one on, and then crisscross. Okay. And you could also use the needle. You could use a twisted wire needle too. There would be no harm in using it. I just was trying to see if we could do it without it, because sometimes it's nice not to have as many supplies that are needed. Okay, so we did around the outside, our wrappings. And I'm gonna just continue here. And you can do this with 4mm gemstones, 6mm, 8mm. You can find, whatever gemstones you like. I've seen these done with cube beads before too. Cube beads look really cool. Lots of different things you could do. Check glass, of course. Okay. You can see how this is building out. And it's going to actually go pretty fast here. And what's nice is that if you are not familiar with this, the Wrap It Loom does actually come with some cord and some different beads that you could absolutely use as practice beads if you want to practice and not use your good beads. Okay, so this is how it's looking. And again, I am leaving a little gap on purpose just so it's not overcrowded, just a little bit. Oh, nail polish. That's a great idea, Nancy. Yes, nail polish on the tip. Yeah, you can definitely try to stiffen that tip up any which way you like, and that probably would make life easier. Yeah, I love it how we always come up with creative solutions. And that's what's so great about here being live is we can share these ideas and thoughts. Yeah, because like right now I'm going to trim that end a little bit. So it's, oops, let's not be on a curve. Okay. So come on. We might have to put a needle on this eventually anyways. But I really want to do it without a needle. Okay. Okay, come on. Where are you? Okay. Okay, keep coming. There we go. And slide it down. And as you work, your griffin silk is obviously going to get shorter, which is nice, so that it's a little easier to work with the shorter it gets. Brush on nail glue. Yeah, that's a great idea. That's a really good idea. I think a little nail polish, nail glue, a glue needle of any sort would probably make this a lot easier, and that's a super simple solution. I love it. Okay. Yeah, because it is, think I'm wearing down the end of my tip a little bit each time, which is not a big deal because I do have extra. I'm not worried about the length of my griffin silk in this project, but it would be nice to kind of not fiddle with it each time. Like the needle goes in so smoothly. Okay, we're almost halfway there. And then I'll show you how to finish it off. So there is how this is building. So you can see that with that really pretty blue button right there. So the blue is really coming out. Yes. Do all the silk cords. So all the griffin silk cords that I know of, maybe Michelle and Thaisa can verify this, but every griffin silk cord that I have used does come with the needle, which is really nice. So it's just griffin silk. Okay. Yeah, it's a really added benefit of it because Griffin silk is also what we use for pearl knotting. So to have that needle attached is really nice. Okay, keep going. Just always remember to do that wrap around the outside through the middle first. I've done this a number of times where I've forgotten that, and then it's like, oh, I have to pull out my bead, which is not hard, but it's just kind of like, just remember that that's always your first step, is that wrap around the outside, just like right here. Okay, and you can kind of look at your tension as you go. Just make sure they're all kind of holding up in place. I think the cat actually moved my lights a little bit here, so I'm gonna see if I can get just a little bit brighter so we can see what's happening a little bit better. Okay. Okay, oh, that is better. Oh, thank you, Susie. It's a fun bracelet. It's very different style than what I normally make, but I like being able to make this style. I think this is also kind of a good gift idea bracelet too. I feel like this is a really popular style, and anytime you use gemstones, I think it adds like a nice value to it. People always think, oh, gemstones, and they get excited. Feels very boutique-y. Okay, we're just gonna keep going. I will say when I was doing this with the large hole beads, the thread, the Griffin silk, went in so quickly. So definitely with those ones, I don't think you would need any type of glue needle or anything like that if you choose to do gemstones with large holes. Yeah, it is kind of therapeutic. You're right, because it's repetitive action. We're just kind of, going on the same pattern as we go here. So, and we're going to do probably like another 5, and then we're going to taper it down. And then we do need to add a little bit of glue to our ends. So I'm going to show that too. Just because of the Griffin silk, I've done it without glue, and it has held, but I've worried about it. So I would recommend putting a little bit of glue on your end when we get to that point. Not on the leather, but on the Griffin silk. Yeah, this is a beautiful strand of gemstones. I love this one with that little bit of orange with the deep, like, cobalt blue. Yeah, Linda, it is easier. It is, because once you know how to do the basic technique, which is really just that wrap around the outsides, through the middle, and then just crisscross your bead. So it's not hard. And hopefully we're seeing too that once you get going on it, it comes together pretty quickly. And I like that on this Wrap It Loom, it has the size guide right there. So you don't have to worry about your measurements. You know that if you put it in the 6-inch, you've got 6-inch of beaded portion. Oh, it would be a nice bracelet for a man. Absolutely. Oh yeah, we're always talking about doing, more masculine jewelry. This would be a really good one. Okay, so I've got that. Crisscross. You could also do birthstones, because you are using gemstones for this one at least. You could also, of course, have I'm a February baby, so you could do amethyst if you want to give it as a gift for someone with, whatever their birthday month is. You could pick their gemstone, which would be fun. It's kind of a nice way of personalizing it. You could also do prestige. You could do crystal and make it super sparkly. You could do bicones, you could do rounds, you could do all sorts of things. If you want to take this in a different direction, instead of kind of the earthy gemstones, you could absolutely do the same exact thing, but with prestige. Okay. I am getting there. And then we'll taper it off. We'll tie it off. So we have to taper, we have to tie, and we have to glue, and then it's done. So I'll just do a couple more. I'll hold this up so you can see how this is looking. So there we've got all those wraps. There's a side view, so you can see that they're on both sides. So they're anchored there in the middle. And then this is, of course, nice and anchored there with that nice face button. Ooh, what buttons do you have that are masculine? Oh, that's a great question. Maybe Michelle and Thaisa can see what we have and pop in some links, because I'm not sure which ones we have. I saw that I believe I put some beautiful dragonflies. I don't know if those are considered masculine, but I fell in love with the Raven's Journey check glass dragonfly ones. Those were cool. Oh, pearls, absolutely. Pearls would be beautiful on here. That would be gorgeous. Okay, we're almost there. Okay, probably like 2 or 3 more, and then we're gonna finish it off. But it's nice, we're actually able to do the whole bracelet here. Oh, Ruth Alice, I love that. Great. Well, best of luck at your show this weekend. Is it a holiday show? I'm thinking that holiday bazaars are starting up now because we're almost there. Okay, here we go. Now, I haven't done it before, but I do also know you can use this Wrap It Loom for macrame. I am not a macrame expert. You know what? I've tried to get into it, and my hands and my brain, sometimes with those knots, I don't know, it's challenging for me, but I do know you can use this Wrap It Loom for macrame as well. Oh, wow, you are very busy. I love that, Ruth Alice. That is great that you're out there and doing those. Oh, Ilka's saying she's used wood beads. I love that idea too. That's a good one. Yeah, I think every bead, any bead you want to use, I don't think that there's any limitation on your beads. The only limitation might be how wide you can push it. But I think you would just need to taper it up and you can actually go pretty wide. I mean, these are 8 millimeters that I'm using right now. Okay, so there's a little bend. So that little kink is not letting it go through. So I'm just going to trim that off. Oh, Ruth Alice, that is amazing. Great job. And I bet it's really fun to be out there and talk to everybody. That's always my favorite part of doing markets, is out and actually chatting with people. Okay, we're gonna do one more. So let me show you just for gauging this. So here it's starting to naturally taper down. But if we look at how much of an expanse it is here, I think we can get one more big bead in and still fit the taper that we need. It's kind of questionable. I mean, we could start tapering it right now. I'm gonna see if I can get one more bead. If I can't, we can always take it out. Okay, so again, that wrap around the outside, into the middle, and back out. Okay, I am gonna try to do one more bead. Oh, yes, Nancy, absolutely. You know, I think you could even use, you could use like an Amiot. You can use an Eslon. I think you have other choices. I like the Griffin silk for the needle being attached. I find that really helpful. But I do think you can use other cords, other materials as well. Okay. Okay, final gemstone. Oh, Leah, that's wonderful. Well, if you guys have any links to share to show your stuff, you should put them in the comments. We'd love to see it. So if you have any links of what you're doing or working on, or a website or an Etsy shop, put it in the comments. I think we'd all love to see it. Okay, so we've got our gemstones done. I think that's going to be enough room for the tapering effect. So now what we're going to do is we're going to just repeat the same sequence that we did over here. So we've only got basically 3 more rows to do. So the first one is going to have 3 beads. So we're going to go through the middle. And then through. Okay. And we did this whole thing without needing another needle. So I'm really happy about that. Okay. Oh, another February baby. I love it. I like being born in February. I don't know why, but I do. My husband's also February. Okay. So all 3 of those beads are on there now. And we're just going to crisscross them. Okay. And go through them the other direction. All right, and pull down. And then we're going to do the next one is going to be 2 beads. And Ruth Alice, I have seen your pictures on the Serious Art Beaters group, and they are beautiful. So that's a good reminder too. We do have our Serious Art Beaters Facebook group. If anyone wants to post pictures of what they've been working on and share their work, that's a great place for that. It's a really nice community. Okay. And then we're just going to do this. I put two beads. I'm thinking buttons. I'm reading the comments. I see that Michelle and Thaisa are on it trying to find some masculine buttons. Okay, we got the 2 beads crisscrossed. And pull those down. So this is where we're at now. And we just have 1 more bead. So that was plenty of room. So 1 more bead to add after we go around our outside. So nothing has changed with our technique for the beginning, the middle, the end. It's the same sequence of that. Around the outside, through the middle, off to the side. And now we just need to add 1 more bead, and then I'm going to show you how to tie this off. Okay, so 1 bead here. 1 bead here. Okay, so this is our last bead. So we have finished all of our bead work. So we've got all of our beads on there. Now we need to tie it off. So we're going to go around the outside 1 final time. Actually, I might go around it twice, but we'll see. Because I always over knot probably, but I always like to kind of err on the side of caution. I don't know if I told you guys, but when I first started making jewelry, I had a lot of fun with the designing component, and I was lacking in my understanding of the structural element of how to make good connections, make it so basically that the jewelry doesn't fall apart. So I think I overcompensate now because I really was lacking in that when I started. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna tie a knot. So we went around the outside, through the middle, back out. Instead of adding a bead, because this is where you would add another bead if you were just going about your normal work here, we're gonna tie a knot. Okay, pull it down, tie another knot. I'm gonna go through twice. Once, twice. And so that is a nice knot right in there. But because I'm me and I'm going to overcompensate here, I'm going to go through 1 more time around the outside because I am just like, I am not going to let this fall apart on me. Okay, around the outside, pull that off to the side. I think you would be fine if you just did that 1 knot sequence that we just did, which was a single knot with basically a surgeon's knot on top of it. I think you would be fine, but I am going to go around 1 more time. And now I'm back through the center again, and I'm going to do the exact same thing. So knot, pulled nice and tight, and then another knot. And here we go. Okay, so this is the finished bracelet. So I got some knots happening there, and I'm okay with that. I feel like this style of bracelet allows you, I mean, it's got lots of knots happening. I don't mind the knots. The thread I used for this project was Griffin Silk number 4. I think it was the beige. So I think it was Griffin Silk number 4. You can use Eslon as well. Yeah, that's a great, Kristen, that's a great comment too. I think you can use Eslon as well. If you really want a needle and you don't have a needle, you can use the twisted wire needle, even on like an Eslon or an Amiot as well. So that does give you some options. Okay, so now I'm going to use a little bit of GS Hypo Cement, and then I'm going to just put it right on my knot. So GS Hypo Cement is nice because it's really liquidy, and I always hesitate to use this on camera because I can never get the lid back on camera, but if you see here, it has this needle that basically goes into the lid, and this is gummy because I did not secure that very well. Let me just wipe some of that away so we can see the tip. Okay, so now there's the tip, and it's very liquidy. So I'm just gonna put a dab of it on my knot. I'm gonna go off camera to put this lid back on though, because it's very hard to do on camera. Okay. Okay, so basically you then put the needle back into the tip and seal it up. And now it does, I will say, because I want everyone to know this, it does discolor the silk a little bit right there. So let me show you on my other one that I did. When it dries, it is just a wee bit darker, but I think it's worth it to have a little bit of glue on there. So you're gonna let that fully dry, and then you'll trim your tails. I'm just gonna rough trim them right now because it's got a lot of glue right there. I don't wanna do anything near it. And then you've got your tails right here. You can trim these as well. So you can decide if you want a long tail, a short tail, whatever you want. You don't need to put any glue on there. So you can trim that. And then you pull it off. Let me just show this. Here, you pull it off. And here is your finished bracelet. So you've got the button closure. It's tied on there. You didn't need any glue or anything right here because you already tied it on, and it was the middle of your main strand. And then you've got all your beautiful beads. And then at the end of the day, I can trim these a little closer. Oh, I think it'll be good. You know what? I'm just gonna trim these kind of close. I would normally let my glue totally dry first. And then what you'll do is you're gonna be able to put your little button face right through your button and loop closure. So there's your closure, that's your clasp. And then you've got all your beautiful gemstone beads, and you see all your wrappings around the outside. And absolutely you could do this with other beads besides gemstones. I think the gemstones are a really pretty effect with the leather and the wrapping, but you could definitely do like the seed beads, like this one. This one here, I did seed beads. So there's that same button. It was the same exact technique. Seed beads and check glass beads. You could do prestige crystal. You could do pearls. I love the pearl idea. Pearls would be beautiful. You could do all sorts of things. And then this one here was done with the large hole beads. So you could kind of see a little bit on the side here, the large hole beads, but they're still staying in place. This one is a little bit pinched right here because I made them a little too tight. So you can do a lot of different things, and there's that pretty button on it as well. And it would be the same clasp closure too. And that button, those buttons are just tied on there. So you just tie them on there. So if anyone missed the beginning of this, the replay will be available very shortly. So you can always go back. You can go ahead and share it with yourself so that you have a record of it. I know, I love the blues and the browns. I love it. I'm all about blues and browns. Oh, well, we did that one project, guys. I'm wearing the earrings. These earrings here from that one check glass bead mix and that project we did with the bluey green and the browns, I'm loving. So that's now my new favorite thing is blue and brown combined. Oh, you're welcome. Thank you, Santa Barbara girl. I know it's a little longer class. It takes a little longer to show this, but it's really fun. So this is the style of bracelet you can make. Just that quick reminder, when you do get this, it comes packaged like this. So it's kind of deceptive. It's all, you know, pastel and rainbowy, but you can make really, really cool, like elevated designs with it. And it does come with other supplies too, which is cool. It does come with like good practice stuff. But this is the loom right here, really easy. And then for storage, just take that little thing out, pull this off, and you can store it back in its box. It's so easy. So that's nice too. What else? Oh, and I do want to show quick reminder about the Bead Llama bead assortments are half off for our deal of the week. I happen to have these, and I think they're down right now to $1.25 with the half off. So really cool, beautiful beads. There's also the other bigger bead assortments, which are also half off. And then don't forget to check out all these special buy gorgeous gemstones that we were able to get. So just so beautiful. Yes, Amiot will work. Yep, Santa Barbara Girl Amiot will work. The only thing is you're not going to have a needle on Amiot. So the tough thing here, let's just use this. So let's say this was Amiot, right? It's a length of the cord without a needle. You're going to have to try to get through, unless you're using large hole beads, you're going to have to try to get through both directions without a needle. So one direction's really pretty easy, like we did. The second direction is really pretty tricky, but you could put that twisted wire needle onto your Amiot or Eslon. And then when you try to go through it the other direction and you've got that needle on there, it pulls through. So see, so that would be the only thing, is just make sure you've got something on hand that's going to let you go through the other direction, unless you're doing large hole. If you're doing large hole, it's super easy. It'll go through both directions. Collapsible needles. Yep, collapsible needles should work. I think if you're talking about like the big eye needles should work well. The one thing is the twisted wire is thinner than like a big eye. So if you end up with a smaller hole that you're trying to go through and you've got the thickness of Eslon, unless you're using like a micro Eslon, it might be a little bit of tugging. It should work though. But here with the big eye, or not the big eye, the big whole gemstone, there was no problem at all passing through it twice without a needle. So that's just another thought too, is if you do want to just pick up a bead with a bigger hole, you don't have to worry about the needle at all. Yep, twisted or collapsible. Yep, they should work. Anything that's just going to let you be able to essentially on one side at least get that needle on there just for that second pass through. The first pass through is easy. It's just that second one where you're trying to go through a hole with a fiber already through it that you're getting stuck. So yeah, it should work. Just make sure you've got some type of needle. Great question. So good. Well, I hope everyone enjoyed this. It's fun. I'm glad we went with the blue button. I think the cream would have been nice too, but I think the blue is just perfect. Have fun looking at the different buttons. There's some gorgeous ones. I think this one is actually still in stock as well. That was a cool one. There was another lighter version of that pretty flower. So lots of options, because that would have been really pretty with this too. That one would have been nice with the sodalite. But have fun playing with gemstones, playing with buttons, coming up with color combos. Real quick again, this is the 1.5 millimeter leather cord. So if you're looking for leather cord, you could use thicker or thinner. If you like, just make sure it will go through the hole of your button. So that's just what you're looking at, is that. But I used 1.5 millimeter leather cord, size number 4 Griffin silk. So hopefully that helped. And the replay will be available too for more specifics. All right, guys, I'm going to flip the camera up so we can say goodbye for today. And then we'll rejoin each other on Saturday morning. So, and then, oh, thank you, Linda. I got to figure out where she is. She's too quiet. Okay, here we go. I'm going to flip the camera up, and then just that quick reminder from Michelle and Thaisa, if there's anything in your shopping bag, to remember to cash out. All right, guys. Well, that was fun. Yay. I can't believe we did the entire bracelet from start to finish. So that was really good. We got that done, like amazing, because I feel like usually we can't do a full bracelet. We usually do like a start, and then we do a little segment, and then I show how to finish it. So I'm really glad that we were able to do start to finish. I hope you can see it wasn't that hard to do. The loom is very user-friendly. It's very easy to set up, to collapse, and it has that nice size guide as well. So that's good. Oh, thank you, Nancy. Thank you, Lisa. I hope it gave everyone some ideas, some different things to ponder as you are on your jewelry making journey. It's always fun to kind of see new tools and new techniques. All right, guys, have a great rest of your week. Becky will be here tomorrow, so that'll be fun to check out what she's going to do. And then Deb will be here on Friday, and I'll be back on Saturday morning.